So the great thing about keyframing is that it allows you to manipulate a still image. You can use it for moving images as well, but what I'm going to show you is mostly for still images. So for example, let's say you had a picture and you didn't just want the flat picture in your video. You could add some movement to it. Maybe just a little bit of a zoom to push in the camera. This picture here, take the planet Earth, give it a little bit of a twist and a twirl to make it seem almost animated. You can also do that with special effects, in this case where we've got a lens flare which has been animated. So let's do a very simple keyframe here. I've got this picture here of Lyndon Johnson signing the 1964 Civil Rights Act. So I've already loaded that in. I made sure to download a very high resolution photo because when you zoom in you don't want to see pixels. But let's pull that down onto our video 1 track. Now it's going to come in, it's only going to be about 5 seconds long, so I'm going to actually stretch it out a little bit to give us some more space. And you can see there's Lyndon Johnson there, and then there's all of this extra space. So what I'm going to do is wherever I place my red line, I can then set the keyframe. So let's set the keyframe. Let's go in about a second and a half. So for the first at 2 seconds, this is where the keyframe will start. You need to go into the shot properties, which you can right click and go show properties, or you can just click on this little square right here. I then go into motion. Now the keyframes will work whether you're going into motion or you're going into special effects. It doesn't really matter. But what you're looking for is here. This little, it looks like a little stopwatch. I click the stopwatch, and all those little pips that it drops in are basically marking this spot at these settings. I can then move my red line to the end, and we'll leave a couple of seconds there at the end, maybe 2 seconds there at the end. So now I've got my second position for my red line. And now, using these right here, let's zoom in on the actual signing. And the great thing about this is that it will automatically place. Like, we don't have to go in and hit this again because it will automatically, when we replace a red line, it will automatically start putting in new pips. Now, sometimes when you do this, first of all, it's a good idea to render because you're asking the computer to do a lot. And sometimes you can get lost. You can do too much stuff. And sometimes what I do is I just reset the picture back to the start. I shut off all of the keyframes just by clicking this little toggle there. But let's see what it looks like here. 2 seconds still, and then there's the zoom in, and it pauses. It's that simple. Try it a little bit. If you have any problems, rewatch this video, and if you're still having problems, come see me.